Okay, sit yourself onto your lift and come into a good cross-legged position. And just settle yourself. Just see if you can feel like you're sitting evenly with levelness at the seat bones. So spend a moment just assessing your seated position, whether you are genuinely sitting evenly or whether there is an imbalance at the seat bones. It takes a few moments to really establish. So just give yourself a moment or two of just listening to the hips and to the seat bones. And just adjust the buttock flesh if necessary. And then hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest. Elevating the heart area upwards and drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Look down at the floor, look at something that doesn't move. Focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Listening to the sound of the breath as it enters and as it exits. Release your knees, bring your hands into Namaste. Press the palms firmly together, lengthen from the armpits into the elbows into the heels of the hands into the fingertips. And with an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Filling your lungs from the bottom to the top and emptying your lungs from the top to the bottom. Focus on the feeling of the breath, the sound of the breath, the movement of the breath. And allow the breath to bring your attention into the present moment. Observe for a moment how the physical body feels right now. Whether there is freedom or restriction. Most likely there will be a combination of the two. So acknowledge the freedom as much as the restriction, if there is any. With an exhalation, draw your chin down to meet your chest. Lift your chest up to meet your chin. Just spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area as you release the backs of the hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Connect the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb. Gesture of wisdom, of physical intelligence, that ability to know whether you're sitting level or know whether there is resistance or freedom within the physical body. Wisdom, physical intelligence, and peacefulness that we can adopt as our approach into our practice. Wisdom, physical intelligence, and peacefulness. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and your focus to softly come back. Hold onto your knees and elevate the heart area upwards, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side, drawing your abdomen across. Your abdomen and your ribs and your shoulders. Just listening to the sound of the breath as it enters and as it exits. And then come back to the center. Hold onto your knees. Lift up into the chest. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the left with the following exhalation. Just observing how the body responds to the pose. Just listening to the sound of the breath. And then come back to the center. Come off your lift and sit back on your heels, big toes together, your knees apart, and then wriggle into the heels. Often it's nice to get hold of the calf flesh, bring the thumb right into the top of the calf, and then draw the calf flesh away from the back of the knee. Rolling the calf flesh out to the side as you sit down. It gives you kind of better connection, gives you a bit more space in the knees. So just spend a moment just to be on the mat. Just feel how the legs connect into the floor. Feel the shape of the feet into the ankles, into the shins, into the knees. So see the body through the feeling of the body. Push the shins into the shin bones into the shin skin so that you feel the thighs activate. From activating the thighs, elevate up into the spine, keeping the shoulders down, and then come forward into Adho Mukha virasana, just wriggling into the hips, keeping the seat bones down on the heels as much as you possibly can, bringing the knees apart a little further if you start to lose that contact. Bring the forehead down, stretch into the arms. Feel how the back opens up like the pages of a book from the centre of the spine out into the room. Keep your arms firmly activated, pressing the hands firmly into the floor so that you can maintain that connection between the seat bones and the heels. Feel that there is a deep connection between the seat bones and the heels. Again, using your physical intelligence to identify it. Come up onto your knees, have your hands as wide apart as the mat, have your feet as wide apart as the mat, and come up into dog down, baddangulyasana. Once you're in the pose, just feel how your body responds to the prompt of being in the pose, whether there is resistance, whether there is reluctance. Feel that you can pick the seat bones away from the backs of the thighs, that you can lift the tailbone up to the ceiling. Activate the legs. That action in the hips doesn't happen without activation of the legs. So lift the fronts of the thighs up to the tops of the legs, up to the hip. Press the fronts of the thighs consciously through to the backs of the thighs. Turn the fronts of the thighs consciously inwards, tightening the kneecaps as you go, and then pick up the seat bones. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Keeping the breath smooth. If it becomes jagged, then perhaps you're overworking. Step your feet forward, come up into a standing position, and then get a couple of blocks for your hands for half uttanasana. And then bring your feet as wide apart as your mat. So line your toes up. So have a look down, make sure that your toes are in line with each other. And then hit your heels outwards so that your heel consciously makes contact with the edge of the mat. The little toes make conscious connection with the outside edge of the mat. Tighten the knees and lift the thighs all the way up towards the tops of the legs. And again, turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. So if you noticed in dog down, when we activated the legs, when we turned the legs inwards, it gave you more lift in the seat bones. It gave you more movement in the hips. So lift the legs, turn the fronts of the legs inwards so that the backs of the legs broaden outwards. Lift the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, and then hinge at the hips. Reach down, find the blocks, have the blocks underneath your shoulders. And again, go back to that internal observation of the action of the legs. Are the legs activating evenly? Or is one activating more willingly than the other? Go inside the pose and observe the balance of action. It's often not that easy to identify which is which. So spend some time in observation, working to make the legs activate evenly. Let the seat bones project into the chin and the chest. If you can go down lower, then do, but not before you have identified the balance of internal action. So we work slowly in order that we can engage with the pose. If you work too quickly, then it becomes gymnastics really. We work internally to observe, to go for internal balance. Bring your hands into your hips, bend your knees on the way up if you need to, and then come up into a standing position. And then come into Tadasana. Have the inner edge of the feet together. Spread your toes, tighten your kneecaps. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, tuck the tailbone in. Listen to the breath. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate breaths. Interlock the fingers in front of you. Stretch the arms out in front. Interlock the fingers and turn palms all the way out. Squeezing the outer elbows in. And then raise your arms without lifting your shoulders over your head. Squeeze the outer elbows in. Press the feet into the floor. Push the hands up towards the ceiling. Winging the elbows back. Tuck the tailbone in. Draw the belly button to the spine. Lift up into the chest. Breathing even, deep inhalations and exhalations. Release your arms and then swap the interlock of the fingers. Before you extend your arms out again, just observe the warmth of the shoulders from the previous extension and then lengthen the arms away. Squeeze the outer elbows in and again raise your arms over your head, keeping the shoulders down away from your ears. Keep the pose active from the feet upwards, not just from the arms. Spread the toes, hit the shins back so that your weight is in your heels and turn the shins inwards. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Turn the inner knees towards the back of the room. Tuck the tailbone in gently without disturbing the legs. Draw the belly button to the spine. Lift the abdomen to the diaphragm. Draw the lower ribs towards the spine. Lift the heart area to the ceiling. Keep the shoulders down. Squeeze the outer elbows in. Push the palms to the ceiling. Just release your arms. And then stretch your arms down to the floor. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Stretch your arms out in towards the chest, and then step or jump your feet apart. Turn your left toes in, your right leg and foot all the way out, and then come down into trikonasana. So turn the legs consciously in the opposite direction, the inner thigh to the outer thigh. Turn the fronts of the thighs from the big toe side to the little toe side, especially with that front leg. Feel where the feet are in 3 dimensions. Feel where the front leg buttock bone is in relation to the heel. Is it closer to the wall behind you, or can you squeeze that front leg buttock bone forward so that it's in line with the heel, using your physical intelligence to identify where it is? Just look down, see the foot. Is your head directly over the foot? If it's not, then lift the chest a little more, squeeze the front leg buttock bone forwards a little more, but keep the back leg hitting towards the wall behind you. And then look up again. Keeping the legs firmly activated. Reach up with the top hand, come back to the centre, and then swap the feet around, turn the right toes in, the left leg and foot all the way out. Just spend a little time to observe the position of the feet, how the feet make contact with the floor. Can you tell whether the heel of this front foot is in line with the instep, or the toes of the back foot, or is it in line with the heel? Just have a quick look down, make sure that the foot is in the right place. Tighten the kneecaps and turn the legs outwards, especially this left leg, and then reach over, find the shin, and look up. Just feel where the feet are, feel where the hips are. Are you allowing that left buttock bone to push out towards the wall behind you? Or can you squeeze it in so that the buttock bone is in line with the heel? Keep the legs straight. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Just have a quick look down. Make sure that your head is in line with your foot. Just make some adjustments if it's not. And then look back up. And then come back to the centre. Bring the feet parallel. And then step or jump your feet back together. Come back to Tadasana. Just listening to the sound of the breath. Focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate breaths. Observing where there is freedom, where there is warmth, where there is resistance. So activate the legs in Tadasana, turning them inward, turning the fronts of the legs inwards, tucking the tailbone in, belly button to the spine, lower ribs to the spine, heart area to the ceiling, shoulders down to the floor, lengthening the head, the neck out of the shoulders. And then just release for a second, get a belt, and then just throw the belt around over your right shoulder. Gomukhsasana. So you might not need it, but it's always handy to have it there. Be back in Tadasana, and then stretch your left arm forward. Try not to disturb the shoulders as you Just bring that arm forwards. Try and keep the shoulder exactly where it is. And then turn the palm all the way out. But at this stage, we really want to rotate the upper arm in the socket rather than just turning the wrist. So try and rotate the upper arm in the socket, and then continue to rotate that upper arm in the socket, even if it makes you drop your chest a little bit, as you reach behind you, and then bend the elbow. With the other hand, assist the elbow up the back. So even if at this stage you drop the chest a little, we'll correct that in a moment, but that can be easier to lift, make it easier to lift the arm up. And then with the right arm, stretch up in invigorating. And then bend the elbow, keep the elbow high, and then see, can you take hold? So I'm not expecting you to kind of turn around. I'm just doing this just so you can see what it is that I'm doing. So you stay in Tadasana, and then you take hold. If you can't take hold of the hands, then you take hold of the belt instead. So go back to your Tadasana from the feet, up into the legs, turning the legs, tucking the tailbone in, lifting from the hips into the armpits. As you stay, just try and keep the hands ever closer together. Some people can get hold of the opposite wrist, so there's plenty of space to extend into. Observe the breath, observe how the breath has changed. Pull the elbows apart. Lift the top elbow to the ceiling, the bottom elbow to the floor. Try and pull them away from each other. Okay, release the top arm. That's the easy one. Bring it down. Just drop the chest a little, and then prise the other arm, or allow the other arm just to release. It might feel like it's stuck, don't worry, it isn't. And then come back into Tadasana. Turn the palms all the way out. So for people with stiff shoulders, this is a useful pose, but you've got to go into it with sensitivity, using the belt if you need it. Put the belt over onto the left shoulder, and then stretch forwards with the right arm. Again, trying not to disturb the shoulder as you come forwards. Turn the palm all the way out, rotating the upper arm in the socket, and then just allowing the chest to drop a little, making the priority the turning of the upper arm in the socket as you reach behind you, and then assist that arm up the back. Doesn't matter too much if you lose the lift of the chest at this stage, because that can help you to get the hand into the right place. And then stretch that arm up towards the neck, and then reach into Urdhva with that left arm, feeling the effect from the previous pose, and then keep the elbow high as you bend the arm and you reach. So on this side, I can never quite get there at first, so I go with the belt, but then after being in the pose for a little while, I can usually get there. So just take hold of the belt or hold of the hands, and then stretch the elbows apart. Stretch the elbows away from each other, opening up the shoulders. Just keep creeping the hands closer together. Just observing what your body is doing today rather than what it did another time. Just observe how your body is feeling now. That is the path into physical intelligence. It's bringing the body and the mind into the present. So I've now got my hands together, not using the belt anymore, but if you need the belt, then carry on using it. Keep the breath deep and soft, listening to the breath. Try not to bring tension into the neck. Keep the neck just directly rising to the ceiling like it's full of helium and trying to find the ceiling. Okay, release the top arm. Just drop the chest a little, release the back arm. And then just come back into Tadasana, turning the palms all the way out, rotating the arms in the sockets. Just feeling the warmth in the shoulders. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Okay, and then release. Just take the belt away. You won't need that for the next pose. Get a couple of blocks where you might reach them. And then come back into Tadasana, just standing on the back edge of your mat. Then come back into Tadasana. Just feel how your body has changed. Just feel the interior warmth of action, and just feel that you're in Tadasana and lifting from the feet all the way up into the top of the head. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards the chest, and then step or jump your feet wide, having the heels on the back edge of the mat. And then bring your hands onto your hips. Turn your toes in. And then tighten the kneecaps. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. So there's always some kind of leg rotation. In the standing poses, lift up into the chest and then hinge at the hips. Keep the fronts of the thighs turning inwards so that you've got that space in the seat bones, the space that we had in Uttanasana at the beginning. And then reach down and find the floor. If you can't find the floor, use the blocks for your hands. So you have your blocks for your hands. But if you're on blocks or on the floor, avoid heels of the hands on the blocks. That's a collapsing action. Just everyone bring the heels of the hands down. It immediately feels like you don't lift anymore. So whether you're using the blocks or the floor, be on fingertips. And then that is a much clearer lift in action, or it promotes a much clearer lift in action. Lifting from the fingertips into the palms, into the wrists, up into the armpits. Keep turning the fronts of the thighs from the little toe side to the big toe side. And then scoop the seat bones up towards the ceiling. Project the chin and the chest forwards, straightening the back. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. So the priority at first is to straighten the back, to keep the head lifted, to straighten the back. If you can do that, then you can come forwards a little more, but do it from the hips. Lift the seat bones up towards the ceiling. Keep the back straight as you project the chin forward. Stay in the first stage if you're still working to straighten your back. Come down if you can with a straight back and bring your head down onto the floor. Use a block underneath your head if you can't reach. So again, reactivate the legs, push the feet into the floor, lift from the feet into the shins, into the thighs, into the hips. Turning the fronts of the thighs inwards. Lengthening the shoulders away from your ears. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Listening to the breath. Just feel that the breath is consistent and smooth, and that your weight isn't in your head, it's in your legs. Hit the legs back so that your weight is in your heels. Okay, lift the head, come back to the center, and then bring the palms down, bend your knees, and then step or jump your feet back together. Come back into Tadasana. And then just lift the heart area, activating the legs as in Tadasana. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Okay, and then come down onto your back and into supta baddangulyasana. So come down onto your back, pull the feet towards each other, pull the feet towards the knees, let the knees fall apart, and then have your hands resting on your lower ribs. If there's stiffness in your hips, then put blocks on the outsides of your thighs to support them. Otherwise, just use the floor. Use the time to draw your attention back into the breath. Stretch your arms up to the ceiling, interlock the fingers, turn the palms all the way out, and then extend your arms along the floor. Use a folded blanket or some blocks underneath your hands if you've got stiff shoulders, just to support them. Use whatever you need underneath your arms or your hands to support the shoulders. Or if it's too strong for your shoulder, then just keep your arms resting on your hands resting on the lower ribs. Just feel how the body opens up in the pelvic region, in the shoulder region, around the heart area. These are some of the emotional centers of the physical body. So it feels good to let those emotional centers open. Just raise your arms, swap the interlock of the fingers, so the other index finger is on the top of the stack, and then turn the palms all the way out. Extend your arms along the floor. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Listening to the breath. Okay, and then release your arms, and then rest your hands on your lower ribs. And then Draw your knees towards each other. Have the knees together and the feet apart. And rest into the floor. And then draw your knees in towards your chest. Have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. And then roll onto your right side and then sit yourself up into just a seated position. Stretch your legs out in front. Sit on a lift if you need to. And then bring the left knee out to the side without disturbing the hips. Get a belt and then throw the belt around the foot. So we're going to come into janu, sirsasana. Hold on to the belt with each hand. If this knee is floating up in the air like this, then put a block on the outside of the thigh, on the outside of the knee, just to support the head of the knee. Turn the abdomen to face the straight leg. Turn the leg inwards, the front of the leg inwards like you do in tadasana. Lift up into the chest. If you've got a bad back, just stay at this stage, just working to roll onto the front edge of the seat bone, lifting the abdomen up away from the thigh. If you can come forwards with the heart area, keeping the head lifted. If you've got a bad back, you might find it better to just stay at that first stage. If you can reach towards the foot with your hands, then do. But all the time, when you come forward with the head lifted, with the heart area lifted, coming forwards with a straight back. If you can reach around the foot, then do. And not being in a rush to drop the head, that comes last. Come forwards, driving the chin towards the foot, lengthening along the leg, keeping that straight leg turning inwards. Keeping the kneecap of that straight leg tightening. And then coming forwards, and then once the chest is on the leg, then you can bring the head down. But if your chest isn't on your leg, keep the head lifted. Just keep working to extend the spine forwards. Coming forwards with a straight back. Breathing even and deep inhalations and exhalations. Keeping the chest rotating to be in line with the straight leg. Okay, and then just gently come back. Just observe the quietness that comes over the brain when you come out of a forward bend, and then extend both feet into the belt. Just hold onto the belt and roll onto the front edge of the seat bones. Really feel where the seat bones are in relation to the floor. Just release the right foot. You can cross the belt over to keep it in place. Bend the right leg out to the side, trying not to disturb the seat bones. Again, support this leg if it's floating up in the air. Something under the head of the knee. Go back to the belt. Hold onto the belt. Lift up into the chest. Activate that straight leg in Tadasana, lifting the thigh upwards, turning the thigh inwards, tightening the kneecap. Turn the chest to face the leg. And then stay at that stage if there's back problems. Or come forwards, reach forwards for the foot. Don't be in a rush. Just let the forward action come organically. If you can, you reach around the foot, coming forwards, extending forwards, observing that this side feels different to the other. Keep coming forwards, keeping the head lifted until the chest is in contact with the leg. And at that stage, if the chest reaches the leg, if the chest stays in line with the leg, then you can lift. You can bring the head down. But otherwise, you always keep the head lifted, driving forwards with the heart area. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Okay, and then just coming back to the centre. Just stretch both legs out. Have the belt around the feet. Lift up into the chest like you're riding a horse, holding onto the reins. And just observing the quietness that comes over the brain. Release the belt. Bring the legs into either cross legs, or if you can do half padottanasana, you can bring the legs into half padottanasana. Hold onto the knees, lift up into the chest. Elevating the heart area upwards, drawing your shoulders down. And then turn to the right side, sweeping the abdomen across from the left to the right. Getting the belly button to point at that right knee and beyond it. Just feel the balance of your seat bones. Have you suddenly rolled over onto the right seat bone? If you have, adjust the torso between the two hips so that the seat bones become level. They become lighter when they become level. Come back to the centre. Hold on to the knees, lift up into the chest. And then turn to the left. Push the back hand into the floor, roll onto the front edge of the seat bones. Turn the abdomen, turn the ribs, turn the shoulders. And then gently come back to the centre. Just feel the warmth around the spine, around the arms, around the shoulders. And then just come down onto your back and get a bolster. If you've got a bolster, then if you haven't got a bolster, you can use some blocks. But otherwise, lift the seat bones, roll the bolster underneath your lower back. Hold on to the bolster, bend the knees in towards the chest, and then raise your legs up to the ceiling. So you can do this without the bolster. You can do it directly on the floor. But doing the pose with the bolster just inverts the body a little more, just giving you a greater inversion. So stretch the legs up to the ceiling, keep the legs straight, tightening the kneecaps, turning the fronts of the legs inwards. Turning the fronts of the legs inwards so that the heels start to separate. Big toes stay together, but the heels separate. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, keeping the legs straight. Come onto the tops of the shoulders, gathering the shoulder blades together so that the chest doesn't drop. So the chest stays lifted. So inverting the body brings energy into the immune system. It gives the organs some gentle relaxation. It allows the mind to become quieter. Okay, bend your knees, bring your feet back onto the floor. Just stay with the bolster underneath you for a moment. And then lift the seat bones, roll the bolster away, just so that it sits underneath the knees. And then get your folded blanket, bring the folded blanket underneath your head. Just for a moment, come up onto your elbows, make sure you're in a really good straight line down the centre of the mat. And then just move any equipment that's in the way out of the way. And then allow the body to consciously release. Close your eyes and let the body just flop into the floor, unhooking the muscles of the arms and the legs. Just allowing the body to completely release into the floor. Let the body relax into the ground. And observe that sensation of physical lightness that radiates from the bones and into the muscles like a golden light that fills the muscles with illumination. Radiating from the bones and into the muscles and into the organs. Illuminating the physical body with a healing golden light. Radiating from the bones and into the muscles and into the organs and the flesh and the skin. Using your in and out breath to distribute that feeling of lightness down into the toes and into the feet, into the fingers and all the way up into the top of the head. Just basking in that feeling of energetic lightness. And when you're ready to disturb yourself, just gently wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, bring yourself back into this pose of shavasana. And your knees, bring your feet onto the bolster, the knees together, feet apart. Just resting your back into the floor. And then roll over onto your right side. And then stretch out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Just finding your cross legs. Just a final cross legs with your hands in Namaste, a final spinal lift. Draw your breath in through your nose and down into the abdomen. A samanic breath that allows you to connect into your energy. Observe how your energy has changed, how you have transformed the body through your practice. Draw your chin down to meet the chest to meet the chin. And spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you have created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then gently release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. Thank you. So hopefully you feel really transformed. You feel like you've really woken the body up, given yourself good, positive energy to put into your day. So thank you very much for joining me.